I know.
Hello, everybody. This is the Friday Support Call. I'm Stephen Carlson, and our host this week is Rhonda Hunt. Thank you, Rhonda, for hosting. Rhonda came to us as a family therapist, and well, actually, Rhonda, you were just telling me before we started the call that you discovered the Sedona Method at a point in which you were in survival mode, and that sounds like an interesting way to start the support call. So, with that said, I will pass the ball to you, mute
Okay.
myself, and allow you to take over. Thank you so much.
Okay, great. Thank you, Stephen. Nice to see all of you today. Welcome to this space. I've set an intention for today's space that this would be a real healing place, an hour of healing. That is my intention. The Sedona Method has been a very much a healing process for me, a tool that has changed my life dramatically. And I hope that it is, and I think that it is. I've seen many of you on calls before. I think that it is a life changer for you as well, and that's why you're here. Um, Real quick, as Stephen had mentioned, I was telling him about 10 years ago when I found the Sedona Method, I was traumatized. I had a traumatic event had occurred in my life that was devastating, and I was in survival mode. I was barely functioning. Um, and I came to the Sedona Method. I found the super course. I was obsessed with it at that point. I did it over and over again. I went to the first retreat I could get to, and I haven't stopped since. And did I come out of survival mode after a few releases? Of course not. But I can tell you today, after a decade of being very committed to this process, I'm in a completely different space in my life. And I don't think it's going to take 10 years for all of you, but I just wanted to honor that, and say that the Sedona Method has been such a forceful process in my life. So I thought, and hopefully this will work for all of you, we would do a group release on coming out of survival mode. Most of us are actually in survival mode throughout the day, throughout the week. Maybe not, that might not be our default. We might not be living in that space, but certainly life happens and it sets off our autonomic nervous system into that fight or flight mode. And we're just like ready to run away, ready to fight. We freeze, we people please. And that's all stuff we do to survive. And so let's do a group release on coming out of survival mode. How about that? And then I see hands. We'll definitely work one-on-one. And I'll hopefully get to all of you who are raising your hand. All right. So just take this moment to stop and pause and allow yourself to be and to be and to be. And just notice the space. Notice beingness. And notice anything that's appearing on that space, that's appearing on beingness, in or on beingness. It might be a memory, it might be pictures, it might be words, sounds, it might be sensations, emotions, thoughts, beliefs, any of it, attitudes, patterns, behaviors. Just notice whatever's arising in that space. And I want you to reflect and just check, focus inside and check, have you been in survival mode this week, this month, this year? Many of us have been in survival mode most of our lives. And just notice if there's any apathy arising in this moment as you reflect on your life. Apathy may arise as a sense of giving up. It may be depressed. There may be a sense of being numb or drained. Those are all synonyms for apathy. And just welcome the apathy. Bring acceptance to those feelings as best you can. And could you just welcome apathy? And I would like you to meet apathy with love because you are love. You have a spring of love within you. That's actually a synonym for who you are, love. So welcome that spring of love. Right now, it might feel like a trickle, or it may feel like a geyser or something in between, but whatever it is, it's enough. Love is always enough. So bring love and meet apathy with love. And then could you just welcome wanting to do something with or about that feeling? Welcome how personal it feels that you as a person have been experiencing that feeling. And then with love, could you send it on its way? Could you just let it go? Could you let the energy in the feeling be released? I also want you to check and focus inside and look to see if there's any grief. That is another feeling we often experience in survival mode. Sadness, loss, emotional wounding, maybe even feeling heartbroken. Certainly, the world is very tumultuous, and we might even feel grief about something that's happening in the world on a macro level. You know, it might not be happening directly to us, but it's happening out there in the world, and we may feel grief around that. So, could you just welcome grief? And could you meet it with love? Could you just accept the grief as best you can and acknowledge it? You may still feel like you want to do something with or about it. Maybe you want to take action on the grief. Maybe you want to feel better. You want to push it away. Maybe you don't like it. It doesn't feel good. And so just welcome all of that. And welcome how personal it feels that it's happening to you, that you're experiencing it with your body and your mind and your heart. And then with love, could you send grief away just for now as best you could? Could you release it? Could you let it go? Could you let it dissolve? Focus inside and check in with yourself and see if there's any fear. You know, that's how many of us experience survival mode. We experience it with anxiety, trepidation, fear. concern, worry, nervousness, panic attacks. And so if you've experienced any of that today, yesterday, this week, this month, this year, your lifetime, just welcome that. Welcome fear. And meet that fear with love. Again, you already are love. And so whether it's a trickle or a geyser or something in between, meet fear with love. And could you just allow fear to be here now? And just welcome wanting to do something with or about that. Many of us do want to get rid of this feeling. It's a very uncomfortable feeling in our bodies, and we don't like it. And so just welcome that sense of wanting to get rid of it, wanting to heal from it, wanting it to be gone. And welcome how personal it feels that it's happening to you. It's about your life. And then as best you can, just welcome the space. Welcome the beingness that all of these feelings are appearing in or on. And even more, welcome love. What did Lester used to say? Square everything with love. All right. Well, I hope that was helpful. Let's get to it. Let's take some calls.
I think
Call on some
Sharon had her
people.
hand on first.
Okay, great.
There we go.
Hi, Sharon.
Oh, hi, Rhonda. Thanks, Stephen, as well for arranging these.
Yeah.
Everything you were saying was really resonating for me. I'm just having such a turbulent time. I can resonate with the traumatic experience. I lost my brother 4 years ago to suicide, just out of the blue, at a time when I'd been struggling myself for about 6 years with suicidal thoughts myself. I never thought my brother would do it. And it's, he's my only brother, my youngest brother. So it's been a very difficult time. I lost a lot of young people since as well. It's just been unbelievable. But the Sedona Method is really helping me. So I've been doing it now for about 2 years, and it's the first thing really that's resonated. I've been on the non-duality journey for about 22 years. Did Vipassana meditation for quite a few years. That helped a bit. But the Sedona is just amazing. Just got a lot going on. Overall, I am feeling a lot calmer. A lot of my anxiety and depression has eased off. But I've still got a lot going on. And the last week I felt really unwell. And talking about my brother, I really worried about my brother because he had a lot going on. And I've got now younger nieces and nephews, and I'm really finding myself a little bit, really worrying too much about them. They've got lots going on.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe some releasing around that, because I found myself couldn't sleep last night, just thinking at the moment about my nephew, and just really worried and thinking, God, is something bad's going to happen again? And it's really, I get this panic inside me.
Yeah.
And it takes over. I let the mind, I suppose, take over with these thoughts, and I find it very difficult sometimes to move out of that. So maybe some help around that, please.
For sure. Let's work together directly. And anyone else on the call, they can also think of somebody, they worry about, and they can release along with you. But I'd like to work with you directly if that works for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks, Rhonda. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this exact moment, what is arising in consciousness? What thought, what feeling, what sensation?
I feel
around your
as though,
nephew?
yeah, a lot of anxiety in my throat right now, heaviness, like restriction of breathing as well, and probably heaviness in my heart, and even right down to my gut, I suppose, right the way through.
Yeah, so okay,
Oh,
and so could you just allow those sensations and those feelings and those thoughts to be here now? And could you give them acceptance? Could you just accept that they're here now without judgment?
yeah, I can. Thanks. Yeah.
And could you welcome wanting to do something with or about those feelings and those sensations?
I just feel, I suppose, there's panic and powerlessness, like feeling, what can I do?
So welcome the panic. Welcome the panic right now. And that thought, like, what can I do? And that feeling of powerlessness. And could you meet it with love as best as you can?
Oh, yes, I
Yeah,
can.
good. And give it even more love. And just for now, as best you can, could you let the panic go?
Oh,
Just as best you can.
yes, I can. I can, yeah.
Would you let the panic go?
Oh, I'm willing to, most definitely.
When?
Now,
Good.
thanks.
Yeah, very good. Okay, what else is here? What's here now?
That feels like I've still got the heaviness in my throat, and there feels a bit of numbness throughout my body now. Feels like a tingling and a numbness throughout, from my toes right the way through the center of my body up to my throat, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
so welcome those sensations from your throat to your toes, the tingling and the numbness. Not those sensations are real. That happens to us when we are in survival mode, when we're worried.
It's like a lot of shaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chemicals get released in your body and it creates these physical sensations. And so could you just welcome all of that?
Oh, yes, I
And
can.
and I want you to meet it with love like you did before.
Oh,
Meet the sensations with love and acceptance.
yes, I can do that.
Good.
Yeah.
And could you welcome wanting to change what you're experiencing, wanting it to be different?
Oh,
It makes sense that you would want to change it. For
actually,
sure.
yeah, yeah, there is the wanting to change it, but to be honest, it feels less than usual. So that's, yeah,
Okay.
that feels good. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Good. And then could you just welcome how personal it feels, that you can feel it in your body. That feels pretty personal. Right.
Oh,
And then could you just welcome the space? I love the laughter.
yeah.
Could you welcome the space
Oh,
that
yes, I
all
can.
of this is appearing in or on?
Yeah.
Laughter is so healing too. I love it. Let's do one more round. What else is coming up for you? What else are you experiencing in this exact moment?
There's a little bit of restriction of breath still. Still the tingling. There feels a lot of I don't know, the energy feels calmer. But there is a lot of what feels, I don't know, high energy. It feels quite intense in some ways.
Okay. All right. So welcome the intenseness of the energy. Welcome the high energy. Welcome all that you are experiencing in this exact moment. And could you just love yourself as you're experiencing these feelings, sensations, sounds, and pictures?
Oh, yes, I can.
Good.
It's a lot of intense shaking at the moment.
Okay. Now, what with the intense shaking, if that wasn't here, what would you like to experience?
Just deep calm. Just really to
Okay.
be calm.
Let's,
Yeah.
we're going to do a holistic release then. So welcome the intense shaking as much as you do. And then welcome the deep calm as best as you can.
Yes, I can.
Good. Welcome the intense shaking as much as you do.
Oh. Oh. Yeah.
And welcome the deep calm as best as you can.
Oh. Yes.
Welcome the intense shaking
Oh.
as much as you do.
Oh, yes.
And welcome that deep calm as best as you can.
Oh, yes.
And just continue to welcome the deep calm. And you can use this holistic release throughout the day to help yourself go back and forth between the two states of fear or intensity and calm.
Yeah.
And there was something else I wanted to say. What was it? Oh, yeah. In terms of with your nephew, because obviously we just don't have a lot of control about what happens with other people, right? Unfortunately, we wish we did. But
Yeah.
but for you, what I'd like you to do is just open to the possibility of a positive outcome for your nephew, even if you don't know what that looks like right now. Just keep opening to that, okay? How does that feel?
But yeah, I can be open to that. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So
Yeah.
I think we will stop for now and see if someone else would like some assistance.
Yeah.
And it
That
was
was
nice.
Yeah, I just like to say, Rhonda, that was just really amazing. I really felt high energy and really like being has come in a really powerful for me in that. And that's the first time I've experienced it that intense.
Oh,
So I really appreciate
good. You're
supporting.
welcome. I love that. Thank you for telling us that.
Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. I can work with somebody else.
Looks like
Whoever.
Lawrence has his hand up.
Lawrence. Yes. Hi, Lawrence.
Yes, hello, Rhonda.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello
Have
there.
something quite thematic.
Okay.
Because as you declared today's theme to be the survival mode,
Yes, I
um,
know. Let's
it
do it.
seems that I want to, let's say, live in peace consciously. But then when I am at peace, I tend to actually do things that re-adrenalize me, even though there's no necessity. So it's not like something that I have to do, but just and then I get locked into this kind of tense state in which I find myself unable to relax. And then
Mm,
when I do relax at some point, I do things that make me tense again.
yeah.
And it's kind of like a shitty cycle in some way.
Okay. Let's work on the cycle.
Yeah.
We can release around the cycle. Um,
Yeah.
and just, you probably already know this. Everyone probably already knows this, but I'll just mention it. Sometimes it helps to hear someone else say it. Oftentimes, when we've been in survival mode, we get used to being in that state
Yeah.
of intensity with the adrenaline pumping through our
Yes.
blood and the cortisol, and we get not addicted, but that becomes our default. That becomes our normal. And so when we're not in that, when we're in a state of calm and peace, it's kind of like, this doesn't feel right. This feels weird. Like, no, like this isn't what I'm used to. And so then we
Yeah.
create the intensity again. So because that's what's familiar to us, that's what feels normal. And so that could be what's happening. But
Could be, yeah.
let's release on the pattern and the cycle. So could you just welcome that pattern of getting to that place of peace and calm, but then not staying there for very long and returning to the intensity?
Okay, let's see. Welcoming the pattern.
Yes. And could you welcome wanting to do something with or about that pattern? Wanting to push it
Yeah,
away.
absolutely. There's a strong wanting, frustrated wanting to break out of it.
Yes, exactly. And so just for now, could you meet that wanting to change it with acceptance? Could you just, in this moment, as best you can, accept that pattern?
Well, what I can accept right now is just the frustration with it.
Okay, great. So accept the
Just
frustration.
I feel really frustrated about it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to circle back around to the frustration. And could you just welcome how personal it feels, that pattern feels like it's about you and who you are and how you experience life?
It feels extremely personal. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Now, could you welcome the space that pattern is appearing in or on?
To some degree, yeah.
Okay, good. To whatever degree you can, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's circle back around to the frustration, because you brought that up as an emotion that you're experiencing around noticing this pattern. So in this moment, could you welcome the frustration?
Yes.
Good. And welcome it even more. Just like embrace it. Give it a big hug as best you can. Meet it.
Okay.
Meet it with love.
Okay.
Good. And could you welcome wanting to do something about that frustration, wanting it to be gone, wanting it to be different?
Yeah.
And could you welcome that it feels like it's happening to you? It feels personal.
Yes. There's no doubt it does. Yeah.
Yeah. And could you just allow that frustration to be here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, what else is there? What else are you aware of in this moment? What else is coming up for you?
There's a wanting to break out of the pattern, the cycle.
Okay, good. So welcome that wanting to break out of the pattern, the cycle. And I think, are you familiar with the 4 wands? You probably are.
Of course, yeah.
Okay,
Of course.
yeah, I thought so, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so underneath that wanting to break out of the pattern, which other want are you most aware of in this moment? Is it
Oh, I
wanting?
want control.
Okay,
I want, and it feels like it's out of control. Like
yeah,
unconsciously, I'm against my will, repeat the
yes.
thing somehow.
Okay, so welcome wanting control. And then in this moment, just for now, could you let go of wanting to control the pattern?
Ooh. Well, I'm not in control right now anyway, so I
Yeah.
might as well.
Okay. Would you let go of wanting control?
Just the wanting, yeah.
Okay.
Since it's not helping anyway.
Okay. When would you be willing to let go? Now, in this moment?
No.
Okay. So let's do, I'm going to
That
move
was
to
that was really difficult actually. The one letting go of the wanting.
okay. Letting go of the wanting to
The
control the
wanting for
pattern.
control, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It felt very wow.
Yeah. So
Let's do one more go on that because
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Okay. So could you welcome wanting to control the pattern?
yes.
And could you just for now, as best as you can, let go of wanting to control the pattern?
I really do want to control it, but I can't.
Yeah. So let's do a holistic. So could you welcome wanting control as much as you do?
Yeah.
And could you could you let go of wanting control as best as you can?
Yes.
Could you welcome wanting control as much as you do?
Yeah.
And could you let go of wanting control as best as you can?
Yeah.
One more time. Welcome wanting control as much as you do.
Yeah.
And let go of wanting control as best as you can.
Yeah.
Okay. And, welcome that space we were talking about, that all of this is appearing in or on.
Yeah.
I really like this exercise, but it's just very tangible. We'll do it really quick. So if your eyes are open, look around your room that you're in, and
Mm-hmm.
notice some of the objects in the room, and name
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 of the objects. What do you see?
Mm-hmm. A straw hat, a shirt,
Okay.
a stuffed animal for some reason.
Okay, perfect. And then notice the space around the objects. Notice the space that the objects appearing in or on.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's a lot more space in the room, I'm imagining, in most rooms,
Yeah, no, that's
than there
that's
are
accurate.
objects, right? Yeah. And so I feel like that's a really nice tangible exercise that we can do
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to
yeah,
to
sure.
remind us of that own inner space,
Uh-huh.
that all of our emotions and thoughts and beliefs are appearing in or on.
Yeah, and the space disappears in the survival mode and this arousal thing.
Yes,
And
exactly.
that's what makes it so unpleasant on some level.
Yes,
It seems to disappear. It doesn't disappear, but it's no longer at all. You only see the objects.
really good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll stop for now. Thank you for raising
Okay.
your hand.
Thanks so
That was,
much. It was
you're
great.
welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
The wanting thing was great. Thank
Good.
you. Bye bye.
You're welcome.
So I can see Maxine.
Okay, great. Hi, Maxine.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, good to see you.
Yes. Thanks for hosting this call today. It's wonderful. It's the releases thus far have just been really very helpful. Thank you so much. And
Good.
yeah, I do have an issue I'd like some assistance with, but before that, I'd like to just share a game if I could.
I would love that. Yes, please.
Yeah. And I want to give a huge thank you to the Sedona community. It's just been not beyond belief. That's what I was going to say. I can believe every bit of it. And at the same time, just the love and the willingness to help on the 24/7, releasing call line. It speaks really, it speaks volumes to um, the method and some of the residuals that come as a result of facilitators themselves releasing and wanting to help others to, experience such freedom as well. And it just means a lot. I just want to really give a shout out to the community of facilitators on that. And secondly, I use the releasing call, the 24/7, the other day. I think it was yesterday morning, and I got some assistance, and I have a tendency to snack at night, and I wanted to. I'm using releasing to just help me let go of the wanting and the craving around that. And I was facilitated, and I knew during the session that something had shifted significantly. It just, there was so much freedom and and peace. It's beyond words. I don't have the words per se, but the gain I want to share is that last night after the morning release was the first time in a very, very long time that I didn't snack, at the end of the night. And I noticed it, and I was just really present for myself. And I was able to kind of, the urge kind of came up a little bit. And I just kind of noticed that, one, I wasn't hungry. And two, that it was simply a thought.
Mm,
There was nothing else that had changed. The thought was there and then it left.
that's awesome.
It's totally awesome. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that was a huge, huge gain for me. And I'm just really on cloud nine. So
Oh, good. Thank you for
yeah,
sharing. It pumps all of us up when people share
yes,
their gains. It's
yes.
encouraging.
Yeah, 100%. So what's up for me today is I signed up. I joined a writing group for it's a year's program, and the group is absolutely wonderful. The facilitator is just extremely helpful, and one part of the program is that we quote unquote write. We do practice exercises every day. And in graduate school, I had just a traumatic experience around writing. And
Mm,
that's the reason that I signed up for the course, because I'm really ready to go beyond that. And
okay.
the tools that are being offered, and writer's block is, I mean, it's no secret. So then the facilitator has built in some techniques to really help, and they have. And yet I'm still not doing the daily exercises. So I woke up
Okay.
this morning. My group meets on Saturday. So today's Friday. I woke up and I just had some worry around it, and just a sense of personal defeat, maybe, or there's some intimidation. A lot of the members of the group are professional published writers, and little Maxine, she's just trying to, get in the habit of making writing a daily exercise. So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Okay,
I'm just having some difficulty with
yes.
getting past it. Yeah,
I,
so if I can get some help on that, that would
yes,
be
let's
great.
do a release.
Wonderful.
So, could you welcome your experience with writing, including the traumatic experience you had that you just mentioned? Could you welcome that story, that experience?
Well, my experiences are pretty varied. I mean, so you're asking me to
The trauma around
the trauma.
writing.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, welcome
Because
the
all of
trauma
the
around writing.
yeah, got it.
And
Yes. Mhm.
could you notice that you have a lot of judgment toward yourself around writing?
Of course. Yes.
And so could you welcome that judgment?
Yes.
Good. And could you welcome wanting to do something with or about the blocks, the trauma, the judgment around the writing?
Yes.
And could you welcome how personal that feels? It certainly feels like it happened to you. It's happening to you.
Totally identified with it. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So welcome that identification.
Yes.
And then just for now, as best as you can, could you let go of wanting to identify with those thoughts and those feelings and those beliefs around writing?
Yes.
Okay. And so what's coming up right now in this exact moment? What are you most aware of?
The knot in my stomach.
Okay. So yeah, notice the knot in your stomach. Welcome the knot and meet it with love. And could you accept the knot in your stomach?
Yes.
If the knot had a voice, what would it say?
This is not helping.
Okay. And what
Yeah.
is what is the feeling under that?
Resistance. Yeah.
Okay.
Resistance. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So could you welcome resistance?
And there's a tone of definite fear there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome the fear. The resistance is, we think it's going to protect us. We put this wall of resistance up for protection.
Yes, for
And
sure.
and so just welcome the fear, that is causing that wall of resistance to go up.
Yes, I am definitely back in that, identifying in that traumatic experience for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm feeling yeah, just pretty frightened about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so welcome wanting that to be different. Wishing it had been different, wanting to change it, wanting to fix it, wanting to make
Yeah.
it better.
Yeah.
And how personal it feels that it happened to you and that it hurt you. It feels like a wound.
Yes.
And so could you just love that wound? Give that wound some love. I don't know. I picture like a mom caring for their little kid who maybe like cut their hand or something, and the mom is just like loving up on that wound, cleaning it out and putting some ointment on it and putting a Band-Aid on and just like giving it a kiss, as moms do. Could you just love that wound in that way?
Yeah, it feels more like heartache. Like it
Mm,
broke my heart. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. And so could you welcome that heartache?
Mm.
Just allow that heartache to be here now.
Yes.
And could you just accept the heartache?
Yes.
And could you welcome beingness, the beingness in which all things appear. So the beingness in which even the heartache is appearing in or on.
Yes.
Could you welcome love? Could you love yourself having the heartache?
Yes.
Good. I think it would be helpful for you throughout the day today to just keep loving that heartache. Keep accepting that heartache and tending to it and nurturing it like a mother cares for her child. And as we accept love, like Hale says, love opens all doors and breaks down all barriers. And so just keep loving, bringing love to that place in your life as best you can.
Thank you, Rhonda. I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice talking with you.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're going to close in about 5 minutes. I thought maybe we could do a little exploration of non-duality, just for fun. Since no one has their hand up now anyway. And then I wanted to let everybody on this call know that I know, like, talking about trauma and talking about emotional wounding, that's messy, and it's okay because life is messy, and sometimes the mess gets a little messier before we clean it up, right? And so if anything was opened today in this call that you just feel like you're still processing, or you didn't get a chance to raise your hand, or you just want to process some more, I'm going to offer a free support call on Monday, this coming Monday. What day is that? Is that the 2nd? Let me see.
I
Let me
think
look
it's
really
the
quick.
3rd.
The 3rd, you're right, the 3rd. So this Monday on the 3rd at 2:00, I do have an opening in my schedule. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm going to open that space up for a free support call in case any of you want to continue working on this issue or any other issue, but specifically trauma, emotional wounding. And if so, please direct message me, like through Facebook or whatever, and send me your email, or we'll post it in the releasing community, the Zoom call, and we'll do a Zoom call on Monday at 2, okay? And with that being said, let's do a non-dual. There's 2 I want to do, just real quick. We'll explore this question Hale gave us at different retreats. Okay, so here we go. Are you, and could you allow that to be enough? Are you, and could you allow that to be enough? Are you, and could you allow that to be enough? Are you, and could you allow that to be enough? Are you? And could you allow that to be enough? Are you? And could you allow that to be enough? And then this is a fan favorite. This is one of my favorites I'm going to do with you. If you have your camera on, great. If you don't, that's okay too. But if you have it on, just find someone's face on the screen, whether you have your camera on or off. Find someone's face on the screen, look into their eyes as I say this next piece. Okay, look into their eyes. I am you. You are me. There is only one. There is no you. There is no me. There is only one. I love that one so much. All right. Wow, it's been so great spending this hour with all of you. And I look forward to seeing you again later on down the road, wherever we meet. And keep on keeping on. Stay committed to yourself, okay?
Thank you for
Thank you,
hosting,
Rhonda.
Rhonda. You can all unmute and say hello or goodbye.
Thanks,
Hello.
Rhonda. Thanks, everybody.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Have
Thanks,
a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.